Hey everyone, I know today's video is a bit shorter than my usual ones, but I really wanted to make a video about this topic, and I also have another video coming later this month about co-op games, so if you're interested in that, wait a few days, or maybe at the end of this month. I have no idea when I'll get that up. But you know what, I thought, why not just make both? So, that's what I'm doing. Oh, and one last thing before I get into this video. I'm using a new microphone. Why I said it like that is because this microphone I used to use all the time, but I shelved it when I got my newer NW700.
On my way to London, this should be exciting.
That's all you get of that. Anyways, with all of my rambling preamble out of the way, let's talk about Noble 14. Well, kind of. Before we can talk about them, we need to talk about the whole reason they came about in the first place. The original Xbox was launched in 2001, just a few years after the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. The original Xbox was Microsoft's way to branch out from their image as a company that only makes operating systems and computers. One of the original Xbox's launch titles was a little game called Halo. Halo itself has a really interesting development history, and I want to make a video about that in the near future, so I'll just give a quick rundown now. In the late 90s, a small game studio, Bungie, known for games such as Marathon and Myth, were struggling to bounce back from the bug in the highly anticipated Myth 2. The bug occurred when and if the user wanted to delete the game from their computer. Myth 2 would completely wipe the entire hard drive. You heard that correct. If you wanted to install this game, it would completely wipe your hard drive. This led Bungie to completely recall every copy of Myth 2 and give total refunds to those affected by the glitch and stores that bought copies in bulk. In total, that cost the Bungie team approximately $1 million, or $1,561,998.80. So in short, a lot of money. During this time, the Bungie dev team was slowly working on this little idea they had for a game in their spare time. This one would be a real-time strategy game, set in space on ring planets. The RTS game was called Blam. Then it was transformed into a shooter called Armor, and after that it was an RPG called, I'm not making this up, Monkey Nuts. Spelled that way. And I don't know what they were smoking either. All I know is that I was. After the whole Myth 2 fiasco, they were eventually bought up by Microsoft to develop a game for the launch of the new console. Sometime during this period, the Bungie team finally decided the name of this game and the genre. It would be a third-person shooter called Halo. By now, the Bungie team had 10 months to turn this half-baked idea of a game into a full-fledged console exclusive. Oh, did I mention? Only a year before they were bought out by Microsoft, Steve Jobs talked about it on stage at Macworld. Not joking.
We are starting to see some great games come back to the Mac, but this is one of the coolest I've ever seen. This game is going to ship early next year from Bungie, and this is the first time anybody has ever seen it. It's the first time they've debuted it. And so I'm very happy to welcome on the stage Jason Jones, who is the co-founder of Bungie and the Halo project lead. Halo is the name of this game, and we're going to see, for the first time, Halo. Welcome, Jason.
After 6 months of trying to make what they already had work, they ended up cutting so many features that with only 4 months before release, they decided it was best to just start from scratch and make it a first-person shooter this time. But somehow, against all odds, they did it. They got the game done and shipped a day and day with Microsoft's new console, the Xbox. Well, man, I guess my idea for that video is kind of gone now. Anyways, Halo was an instant hit. Everyone who played it loved it. It had an amazing story, although it was rather basic by today's standards. It also brought true LAN parties to the console side of gaming. On November 9th, 2004, Halo 2 was released. And it was also a smash hit. A contributing factor to its success was Xbox Live, which launched a year after the first Halo's release in 2002. Xbox Live allowed Halo fans, and well, just fans of any other game, to play together across the world in custom games or just regular servers. Only a year after Halo 2's launch, however, the new and improved Xbox was released, the 360. The 360 had everything the original lacked: better online support, an actual good controller at launch that wasn't the size of a dinner plate, as well as Xbox party chats. At the 5-year benchmark of the 360's release, Microsoft announced they would be shutting down the original Xbox's online servers. See, this was a sad day for many Halo fans, as soon, reliving the glory days of Halo 2 Online on the original system was about to be rendered impossible. 2 months later, on the scheduled day of server shutdown, everyone got on for one last hoorah. Everyone was on and had their headsets plugged in as well, which was a bit of a rarity at this time. It was a fun day, even with the somber undertones. As the clock struck midnight, and everyone online was ready to embrace the end, something happened. Well, really nothing happened. You see, Microsoft had changed the rules. If you were playing when the server shut down, you could keep playing until you were done, but if you got off, you weren't allowed to get back on. This gave those still online a bit of a sigh of relief. This meant they could spend just that much more time with the game that meant so much to them. For most people, this meant just a few more hours, while others saw this as an opportunity to keep the game alive while they still could. After day 1, there were still over 500 people left. However, day after day, that number dwindled, from 500 to 250, from 250 to 100, from 100 to 26, finally down to the final 14. By this point, it had been almost 12 days since the server shut down. Xboxes were outright dying because it wasn't meant to be played for this long. All that were left were these 14 players. By this point, news outlets began catching wind of what they were doing and began writing article after article about them. Many have since drawn comparisons to Noble Team from Halo Reach. They drew this comparison due to Halo Reach's story. Just because it was a fight they couldn't win didn't mean they wouldn't go down swinging. Bungie even gave out early access codes for Halo Reach to some of the final players. On May 8th, Lord Odysseus 11 was booted offline because of an internet drop. This left only 2 people playing, Agent Windex and Apache Enforcer. 2 days later, on May 10th, Agent Windex was booted offline, leaving only Apache Enforcer online. Agent Windex took to the Bungie forums, leaving one simple message. "Good job, Apache. You're the last one." Apache played for another 22 hours before he too was booted from the game. In a recent interview with Gaming by Gamers, I'll link their video down in the description, when he was asked why he did this for almost a month straight, he said,
I wanted to play. I wanted to play with everybody. You know, especially it's not like, we'll play it next week. Well, there's no next week. To be told that no, you'll never be able to play this game again, because we're going to remove it. I didn't like that because that was a reminder of a game that kept me going. I created lots of friendship from it, and it's something that I wanted to play and enjoy again.
Keep that in mind. He played this game for just short of a month straight because it's something he wanted to play and enjoy again. I admire that. You see, he put aside his time to play a one last hurrah with his favorite game. Well, with that somber note out of the way, I want to thank all of you for watching this. I know it may have been a little shorter than what you're all used to from me, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Anyways, with all that, have a good day, everyone. Except for you, Jacob. We all know what you did.